Hey guys, it's XJ9 here, and today I'm going to be making a next solo guide. Next solo isn't that hard despite a lot of people saying it is. It really teaches you a lot, I would say, in PVM with damage and doing mechanics in between. So I highly advise doing this boss if you're, you know, about to do higher tier PVM, as it really teaches you a lot and how to hold your own. So I'm gonna go with the gear first off. Uh, you definitely want a reckless aura. Reckless aura is pretty much needed here. You could get away with a accuracy aura or dark magic, I guess, but again, she has such high defense. It's very similar to Telos that you probably don't want to do that. And yeah, especially if you're using tier 90 weapons. So yeah, use reckless aura. She really doesn't hurt hard anyway, so it's fine. A full elite Serenic set. If you don't have elite Serenic, you can just use Pernix, Orbital, or Serenic itself. Just be sure to perk it up, as perks are extremely important. I cannot overemphasize that. Uh, I use a max cape. You can use any other range cape like a kiln cape or even an Ava's alerter. Doesn't really matter that much. I use an Essence of Finality amulet. Really strong amulet, as has both Amulet of Souls and Reaper Necklace effect. If you don't have this amulet, I'd actually recommend using a Reaper Necklace on this boss just because her defense is so high. But a lot of people don't have a Reaper Necklace and likely have an Amulet of Souls. So Amulet of Souls is fine. It's just you might experience maybe you might even take more damage just because her defense is so high and you kind of need those hits. So best case scenario is have an Essence of Finale amulet, but again, amulet of Souls of Reaper is fine, preferably Reaper. Nightmare Gauntlets. Nightmare Gauntlets are actually quite expensive. I'm surprised, but they're very good here. If you don't have them, it's not too big of a deal. You can just use any other ranged gauntlet, but Nightmare Gauntlets are definitely something to strive for because Snipe is really good at this boss, as you can move and it will always hit her. So yeah, definitely get these if you have it. If you don't have it, it's not the biggest deal, but they're really good. So if you plan on doing next slot, definitely get these gloves. Well, Ring of Death. Ring of Death is a really good ring. If you don't have Ring of Death and you're still saving money, you can just camp a Ring of Vigor or like an Asylum Surgeon ring, or I don't know. I mean, honestly, either do Asylum Ring or just camp Ring of Vigor. Uh, Ring of Death is mostly for death costs, and the stats are actually quite nice as well. But if you're starting out in PVM, don't prioritize a Ring of Death. I would just camp a Rigor Ring, honestly, and you'll probably do fine, and your death cost shouldn't be that high anyway. Fleeting Boots. Fleeting Boots are insane in X for a similar reason to Nightmare Gauntlets, where you can actually move around while using Rapid Fire, which is really, really nice. Benefits a lot of people using full manual and maybe even Revolution. But again, I think they're 60, 70 mil still. Not that expensive, honestly, for what they do. If you don't have fleeting boots, you can just use any other range boot. Doesn't really matter that much. But again, Nightmare Gauntlets and fleeting boots are really good at this boss and make the boss a lot easier. So definitely get these things. I would definitely get fleeting boots before Nightmare Gauntlets though. Uh, for a scrimshaw, I use Illuminated Book of War. It's just really cheap. It's like 500k an hour right now. Like maybe it'll be a mill later if the pages go up. But it does a lot of passive damage with the effect and has a chance to lowers Nex's defense. It's quite powerful and it's really cheap considering scrimshaws are like 6 mil, which is like 2 mil an hour. So this is a quarter of the cost for very similar effect, and it can actually benefit a lot of people who have lower tier gear. So I would definitely use this. It's very budget, really effective at Next. Again, you can use it really anything you want, but I really like the Book of War just again for the people who don't have a lot of money. Uh, I'm going to be using a Noxious Longbow for this boss. I was considering using a Serengabo, but for the sake of the video, because they're very similar, I'm going to be using a Noxious. As believe it or not, it's fine deep damage. You don't need Ascensions or whatnot for the boss, as rubies aren't even super good at this boss, just because she doesn't have a lot of HP to begin with, so it doesn't really matter that much. And the 2 range bonus that you have from using a longbow over such as blight bounds or ascensions is really good at this boss. Important thing to note is you definitely need mutated, what is it going to be called, dazing shot for this boss, as it does damage over time, which is really good considering Nex has a damage cap at phases like it's like 5,000 HP, and like last phase is like 2,500 HP. Like if you do more than that, it's like severely reduced. It's just really good. So again, before you even do next, please get mutating Dazing Shot, greater Dazing Shot. It is so powerful, especially with Sol on the Moon, which is another threshold. They are so powerful. You need to do shadow rolls for it. Definitely do it, or you're not going to expect the same results. I'm going to be using Blackstone arrows for the beginning of the kill. Blackstone arrows are extremely cheap right now and really good for what they do. They pretty much lower Nexus the monster's defense for the whole entire fight. It's 12 minutes, I believe. And yeah, it really helps with Nex, especially if you have a lower tier weapons. You just need to remember to swap it after swap it when you go on the minion, because you don't want to lower the minion's defense. Very underrated, very strong. It just requires a little bit of effort, but I would say it's definitely worth it, even if you're like maxed out gear, honestly. And because again, I think like 1600 each, and 1800 each, still very cheap. And going to equipment, power burst of vitality. These are really cheap. I think like 600 GP. I think, yeah, like 600. These pretty much double your HP for a short while, for 6 seconds. And this is very important for this particular part on the ice phase, and you can just buy it through the GE and use it. They're extremely powerful. I highly recommend using this for a lot of PVM counters. I honestly kind of regret not putting in some other guides, as they're extremely good. They're really good for learning bosses, or even just doing mechanics in general. So I'm gonna be bringing a Blightbound crossbow and an Ancient Repriser. You can honestly ignore these. You don't. I'm not even probably gonna be using these. I kind of just have it just because I always have my main hand in my shield here, like always. So it's kind of just for me. So you can fully ignore this and just put Sailfish. I'm not even gonna be using these. Bringing an Ancient Repriser is nice though, because you can get his emblem from the boss, which is for defenders. So that's why I also bring it. So you can just ignore this. It's just, it can potentially be beneficial to bring a main hand in a shield for a certain mechanic, such as Nexus Ice Phase. I just think it's a good habit to bring this in general. Always bring a shield at a boss, as you never know if something might happen like weird, so it can help you out of that situation. Augmented Shadow Glaive with Planet Feet. You can honestly use, I think, even a lower tier weapon, considering Shadow Glaive is quite expensive now. It's just a Planet Feet switch. It's not super important, honestly. You don't even really need a Planet Feet switch for this boss, but it's nice. Magic Note Paper. It's just to take some noted brews. The restores aren't even worth a lot, but it can be nice. So yeah, I guess you bring this just because a lot of the profit actually comes from brews. I bring two super restores. You probably only need one, but I bring two because you might need to if your per bonus isn't that high. As in, I high end gear has per bonus like crazy. So yeah, you might need to. You probably only need one, honestly. A large room pouch green. This is to use what wasn't even called disruption shield. I honestly don't even bother even using this that much this fight, except for one particular part in the fight, which is the ice phase. Besides that, it's not really that important. So if you don't want to bring it, don't really worry about it. Excalibur, I honestly don't even use this that much. It's nice for food though. It's quite strong, so you can use this whenever, honestly. I bring a one brew just in case I need a sailfish brew. If you need more brews, you can do that, but more brews equals less profit. So yeah. Dreadnoughts, I'm gonna be honest, you don't even need Dreadnoughts. So again, you can ignore this fully. I don't even think they even hurt her. They probably do. I'm not quite sure. Again, I kind of just leave it here because otherwise my muscle memory won't kick in with my inventory. So you can fully ignore this as well and just put sailfish or whatever food you want to use there. Ring of Vigor is just to use your ultimate, which is at the beginning of the fight. Again, you can get away with not even bringing it, honestly, or just camping it. So again, that's what that's for. Elder Overload Salve, just the strongest overload you have. Just that's that. Just bring an overload, guys. Strongest you have, preferably. Strongest adrenaline you have. I just use adrenaline renewal, extremely powerful. Adrenaline Urn. Adrenaline Urn is just a nice quality of life where you don't need a stall to keep your adrenaline, which is really nice. Luck of the Dwarves, and that allows me, to get better loot slightly. And I bring a quiver, and the quiver has Araxite arrows, and I swap to that after my initial phase where I use my Blackstone arrows on next. Vuln bombs. I'll be honest, you don't really even need these. I only use this during the blood phase for the sake of the video, honestly, because the biggest part people struggle on are the blood phase and the ice phase, and this Vuln bomb should last the whole entire blood phase and the whole entire ice phase, which are arguably the hardest part of next. So yeah, you only really need one per kill, or maybe even zero. But I would say bring at least one, because again, it will help you a lot during those phases. And something I'm going to be doing that's unique to this video is I actually have a melee helmet and melee boots. The laceration boots are very cheap, and you can bring like a barrels helmet, I believe. This is for the first part of the fight, as in during shadow phase, where she might actually walk up to you and start giving you rapid ticks of damage during her shadow phase. And what you would do is actually wear this the whole entire fight until you beat her shadow phase. And what will end up happening is, well, she won't actually go MD of you. So that's actually quite important to do if you're using like Revolution and don't want to move. But I'd highly advise using full manual against this boss just because I don't think it's that hard. You can honestly kind of close your eyes and just spam your keyboard like bleeds and stuff, and you can destroy her. So yeah, that's all you need to do. So another important thing is you want to get the Stone of Jazz buff. It requires Ritual of the Madra, I believe. So we're gonna go to the fight cave quick, and I like using this fairy ring right here. And we need to go to Glacor Cave fast, and you get a 5% DPS boost to everything in Gower's Dungeon. So where is the Glacor Cave? Ancient Cavern. No, it's not. That's not even it, guys. So don't listen to this. This is not even correct. So we're gonna go back. And we need to look for Glacor Cave fast. So, where's Glacor Cave? I don't think I even have a save. And this is so clunky. Oh, there it is. Glacor Cave. DKQ, I believe. And you'll see I'll have a little animation. Yep. 5% damage bonus. Really good. So, we're going to go teleport to War's Retreat. And we're going to get the kill started. And hopefully my aura doesn't run out. But if it does, oh well, it's fine. um, I also want to note that another nice thing about Dazing Shot is that it actually allows your target suffers a 10% decrease to its accuracy on their next attack. So next actually won't be hurting that much due to using a longbow, which is something a lot of people don't talk about. So again, using a longbow is extremely beneficial. So that's that. So we're gonna make sure our urn's on. Our urn is on. So you go to next. Preset is on. And we go over here. So we're going to, oh my god, they changed this a lot, guys. So we'll do custom encounter. Next, yep, just put, I guess let's put fastest, and we go in. And just go down. And you can get some adrenaline off the minion after your ultimate, but I don't even bother doing that, honestly. You can if you want. So you can put on your Book of War, you can pot. I have my Planet Fee switch, and I'm just going to be waiting here. And I'm going to Death Swiftness into Anticipate. So Death Swiftness, Anticipate, attack the boss, Adren Pot, Double Bleed, Snapshot, Snipe, Puncture, Saw on the Moon, and then she should be phased. Oh, I splashed. Oh, now she phased. Now Rapid Fire this minion. Save Rapid Fire for the minion pretty much always. You want to Freedom right now in case she grabs you. Auto her, and then Corruption if you want. Range Prayer, and this phase just want to damage her as fast as possible. I ran out of arrows, so now I swap back to my Araxite arrows. Oh. And you just want to phase her and run around a bit. You can Surge, eat up a bit. She should be phased. Click on the Umbra and start DPSing. Just Rapid Fire, and he should die. Phase next, and Vuln Bomb her. Mage Spray. When she says this, charge your Snipe. Rapid Fire. A Sap Shot, Dating Shot, Rapid Fire. Run from her. We're gonna Saw on the Wound her. She's phased. Double Bleed this minion. Eat up a bit. Attack next. Anticipate after she siphons. DPS her. Drink your Vitality Potion. You could also Reprisal. So I have Reprisal. I'm going to do that just for the sake of it. I didn't take much damage. Double Bleed her. I also forgot to mention Reprisal. Oh my god, my thing moved. Attack Glacius and Rapid Fire. Move away when she says contain this as she walks next to you. Once Glacius is dead, attack next. And you can just start, just eat up the full. And honestly, during this phase, all you need to do is just run around in circles. You can honestly just smash your keyboard right now, and you'll do fine damage. Like, I can honestly even close my eyes if I want to right now. Like, hello, Allie. I'm sorry, my girlfriend is messing around, so it's okay, guys. But also, another good spec is actually use Deadshot here. It's actually quite nice damage. And honestly, you can honestly just run around the room and literally just close your eyes. And as long as you're running around and clicking constantly, she should die. Just spam bleeds the whole time. Like, I'm not joking. During this phase, I highly recommend running around. Otherwise, it's quite bad. So yeah, once she's dead, Luck of the Dwarves on. And I don't know what I got. I got some magic seeds. So the kill's done. Teleport back. And again, this kill, I'm going to be showing the melee setup, or rather what you want to wear the melee gear so that she doesn't walk MD and kind of revolution her a bit. I won't actually run around that much. Just in case, in case some weird stuff happens, I'm going to take one more piece of food. We're going to go back over here. Get back that adrenaline. I'm gonna wear your melee stuff. Go back. We're gonna go and rejoin the encounter. Same thing. We're gonna go over here. You can feed him just to stall a bit. And just wait a bit. Ult Adren Pot. Anticipate. Attack the boss. Double bleed. Dating shot. Snapshot. Snipe. I'm gonna stall wound her. She might phase after this hit. So I'm gonna freedom after she dashes. Put back on my regular arrows. Don't waste your blackstone arrows on this. Attack the boss. Range fair. Auto her. Move it 1 square. Just keep attacking her. I'm gonna tendril her as well. Walk 1 square when you see the shadow, or just preemptively move. Eat up. Go back here. Attack the bot. Attack Umbra and rapid fire. Get ready to move as soon as you see a shadow. Kill Umbra. Attack next. Vuln bomb. And we're gonna wait. We're gonna do. She has this snipe, and we're gonna onslaught this time. Although we could also put it on her range gear if you have range gear, as you don't need her to. It doesn't matter if she's MD anymore. So after that, you just can run back. We can also finish her off with a snipe now. Onslaught's good if you're unconfident with your rotation. It's quite easy. Again, you don't need to do that. You can just do what I did before with double threshold. We're gonna attack this boss, or this minion, or this boss. Also, so one thing you can do here as well is you can wait for her to mark you for a sacrifice, and then phase her, and it will make her so she doesn't do her ice prison. So actually, now you stop moving. Attack her now, and now she won't do her ice prison attack for the first move, which is quite nice. So I can double bleed her, walk it back so as you want to give her the bleed, and then you can rapid fire her if you want. I'm going to anticipate here. Anticipate. Oh, freedom actually. And now we're going to burst of vitality, and we can tank this hit fully. And then you can attack Glacius. And just double bleed Glacius. And you re-overload. Walk away from contain this. You can eat up a bit. And just rapid fire. I'm going to be honest, guys. I definitely wouldn't recommend staying MD and attacking her. All you need to do at this point is, literally, guys. You can literally just close your eyes and DPS her. Like, this is literally all you can do. Just run around and just smash your keyboard. And I guarantee you'll kill her. Okay? Because if you stay MD of her, what ends up happening, like, so she'll end up doing a lot more attacks, which isn't good. Because she actually soul splits during this phase, and her melee can be quite deadly on you. But right now she's in MD, so you don't actually have to move if you don't want to. But yeah, I highly recommend doing that. So right now she's walking. When she's walking to you, just run away from her and just attack her. Block the dwarves on. She's dead, and you can go loot. And yeah, we didn't get anything good, but a lot of Nexus drop come from her uniques. So again, I mean that's really it, guys. And the important things to note is there's two ways to do blood phase. You can either do this thresholder, you know, what you can do snapshot, rapid fire, even tendrils, or you can even just do what should I call it? Snipe into onslaught. But again, I wouldn't even advise doing that just because onslaught's kind of outdated and you really don't even need it. It was mostly useful when bosses were tanky. They're not really tanky anymore. So again, I would not even do the onslaught. I just would like to. I just wanted to demonstrate it. And another thing that's important to note is with power versus vitality, if you get a second prison and you don't have the power burst vitality, you can also just spam disruption shield and be like 9,000 HP, and it makes it so her attack, because she does a magic attack with that attack, and it will make it so you don't get smacked for 3,000 and 7,000. So you just spam your one key or whatever your disruption kill is, and you won't take that hit. You can also potentially take magic it, but yeah, that's a bit hard to do. So yeah, I would recommend just power versus vitality because again, Blackstone arrows are so good against this boss. It makes her really squishy. If you want, you can again. You maybe only need like 10 arrows or even 12, and you can even maybe even put the rest on and then apply more debuffs. Like again, I didn't have any perks on my noxious longbows, and my kill times weren't even that bad. Like that was a 319, 257. It was only a 319 mostly because I onslaughted, and also I waited for her to do her uh, I wanted her to do her blood sacrifice so I could force ice prison. But I'll be honest, I don't like that because it's a waste of time. Honestly, because you should only get one prison anyway. Honestly, so yeah, it doesn't really matter to me. So again, you should be getting sub 3 kills quite easily. Even 320 kills are fine. Again, like just perk up your Noxious Longbow with like a precise fort equilibrium 3 or something. Like as in separate perks. Let's perk it with something. It needs something good. Like don't get like precise 2 equilibrium 1. That's really bad. So yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That's pretty much it. So hopefully you enjoyed my guides. I like to. I mean, I also listen to feedback a lot. So because if you notice, like I kind of really made this really simple for people, compared to like on my first guides, which was like Elite Dungeons 1, where I bought a bunch of switches, even though I explained you don't really need them and explained what to do even if you don't have them. I listen to feedback. I understand. It's just I don't want to do things that can hinder my performance, so that's kind of why I didn't do that as well. My next guide will probably be Elite Dungeons 2, though, which I will be making very simple as well, so yeah, that's been a while in the making, but it wasn't really good to do, which is why I wasn't doing it, so yeah. Um, yeah, if you like this guide, just be sure to comment and stuff, and maybe even tell me what else you are interested in, or if you like, or it helped you, because, again, I don't think many guides explain how Noxious Longbow is fine for next, and how Blackstone arrows are really good. So yeah, I would definitely do that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Good luck at next. Definitely do the boss. I think it's a really good boss to do for learning PVM. So yeah, bye.